Hello everybody, my name is Victor Thorpe. I'm an Olympic speed skater and professional inline skater for more than 20 years now. That gave me the opportunity, the chance to travel the entire world basically and try out different skating destinations. That is why I created this top 5 of the greatest places that I've ever skated. Well, I haven't been to all places, so if you guys have any ideas to countries or places or destinations that I missed out on, I would love to hear those. Share them with me and the rest of the skating community in the comment section below. I based all these recommendations on different factors. How nice is the place, the scenery, the surroundings, the weather, but also things like the quality of the asphalt. Will there be cars? Will there be no cars? Bicycles and so on. So in general, it's just the top 5 on how awesome it is to skate on these locations. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. To get to the list, the 5th greatest location, in my opinion, is Amager, also in Denmark, where I'm from. It's very close to the airport of Copenhagen, Kastrup. You would need a 5 to 10 minute drive and you would already be there. You can park right by the start of this 10-kilometer loop where you will find very smooth asphalt. On top of this, it goes along the coastline, so you will get a beautiful view skating right by the water. If you're a beginner to inline skating, this can be a little scary because there's no fence, there's no actual border. So if you tumble over to the right or left, depending on your direction, well, it's straight into the water. So I wouldn't do this for my first skating session ever. That said, there is some safer areas, and if you are nervous, well, you can just find those instead. It's entirely locked off for cars. It is pretty wide enough to do a decent double push if you're at that level. So there's really no reason to not check this place out if you ever cross Copenhagen Airport. You can take a metro 2 stops away. So if you ever have a long layover and your skates in your bag, well, I would check that place out. The 4th place goes to Alcúdia on Mallorca, the island in Spain, a location I frequented a lot. I've been there 6 times, and one of them was during the COVID era where my wife and I spent almost half a year training there. And this location between Port de Pollença and Alcúdia, a 5-kilometer straight road with awesome asphalt, was one of the main reasons. It borders the sea, the entire coast. The weather is incredible. There's not that much traffic, and even when there is traffic, there is a double bike lane for skaters to enjoy. There's some cyclists, but it's really not too bad even in the holiday season. To get there, well, obviously you need to fly to Mallorca, and then you would have to either take a train or rent a car, and it's an hour drive from the airport, so I wouldn't go for just a single day. But it's also Mallorca, so there's a lot of reasons to stay there for longer. It can be quite windy given that it is just at the border of the water, but on most days it is pretty nice there. You can go for, I would say, a loop of almost half a marathon without crossing the same road twice. So this is definitely to be recommended. Mallorca is great for cycling, but also great for inline skating. The 3rd place goes to Larramet en France. Larramet in France. It is a 7-kilometer, it is open to cars though, circuit situated near Toulouse in the south of France. The asphalt is generally really smooth. Beautiful scenery, there is some water, there's some nice views, there's some trees. There's not that many cars, and that's why I've been training there quite a lot. As you can see from images, it is a very beautiful place. It's easy to get to, close to the Balears airport, and also just close to Toulouse in general. There's even a metro station in the area. This place is really good for training top speed. On a windy day, you have some straights that are longer than 1 kilometer with no turns, no ups, no downs, or a few road bumps. On the other hand, I think that's also part of the reason why there is not that many cars. I myself trained there for years, developing a lot of endurance while really just enjoying the nice weather in the south of France. You can train basically all year round at this location. Number 2 on the list is Slagelse Inline Skating Stadium. It was built in 2007 in Denmark, and it has hosted both Youth European Championships and the European Cup final since then. The track is actually a double track, so you have a parabolic track in the inside, 200 meters, so perfect for international racing, and then surrounding that track you have a 300-meter road track. Just a few hundred meters from this track begins a 25-kilometer bicycle path that was made basically for skating and cycling. There's no cars allowed, and it's entirely blocked off. So Slagelse is a great location for skating all in general. It's about an hour from Copenhagen Airport, and just to prove how good a track this is, the TVM professional ice skating team with names like Sven Kramer, Irene Wust. They actually held their pre-Olympic camp in the city of Slagelse for this very same reason. I highly recommend going there if you ever come close to Denmark. Number 1 is, I think it's a very popular opinion to have, Geisingen in Germany. It is by far the fastest 200-meter track. It's entirely covered. Every year it hosts the annual Geisingen International Competition, where the 200-meter, 300-meter track world record has been broken over and over again. So a lot of people like to go there for training camps and of course races as well. It is relatively flat for a banked track. It's 200 meters, so the correct dimensions for international racing. But it is so grippy thanks to the Vesmaco coating that you can go incredibly fast, which also makes it hard to pass. Some people think this is a negative side of it because it makes it harder to pass. It makes it more boring to watch the races because if you skate in a defensive line, well, going all the way to the inside of the track is basically always going to be the fastest. So you need to have quite a lot of strength and speed compared to your opponents in order to pass them in a race. The ring is situated in the south of Germany. There's no airports just nearby, but the track still manages to attract hundreds of international skaters coming from all the continents, especially South America, where inline skating is huge. Obviously, you're going to find all the details on the destination, the address, and how to get there in the description below. I'm not just going to spoil it and not tell you about it. So it's all in the description below. And then the final little last note before you leave here, if you want to support me personally and my wife in our skating careers, I am on my way to my 3rd Olympics, well, then you can order our coffee. We just lowered the price because we're having a new selection of beans coming in low, but we developed our very own coffee company selling single serving drip bags. It's a pretty cool concept, so check it out. I appreciate it, and I will just see you for the next video.